Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Ageless Energy Show. As always, I'm your host, Drew Tadia. I know we've got a bunch of new people in here, so welcome if you've been with us for a while or if you're brand new. Today, I'm talking about, well, I guess maybe let me take a step back and say our audience is usually women 40 plus who are looking to increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So if that's you, you're in the right place. And if that's not you, you're certainly welcome to hang out with us and enjoy our topic of today. We love these shows to be interactive. Those of you listening live, you can. Hey, Trina. Hey, Kim. A couple of our MAP members jumping in here. I love to see friendly faces. And if you're listening live, we always enjoy interaction. So for now, I'm going to be recording in the shipping house. So actually, just let me check my volume. You will hear some other noise. We're packaging orders up to go out right now. So that's what we have going on today. We actually, over my left shoulder, our vanilla protein is on sale this month only for a couple more days. And anyways, we have lots of that going out as of more recently. Lots of people like to take advantage of sales. I'm going to be on a little bit shorter this time. I'm going to be jump off at the bottom of the hour. Morning, Sharon. Good morning, Mom. And it's a crazy day. It's a crazy day. But I wanted to chop it up with you guys, jump on here a bit more often. I used to do every Friday morning, but our Metabolism Accelerator program, that's our one-on-one coaching, kind of took off and takes priority. So I try to dedicate extra time for our clients. We actually just did it was fantastic. Did you guys like it? Sharon, Kim, Mom, who else? Did you guys enjoy the workshop? We did a full workshop around prioritizing your calendar, stacking habits, creating systems. It's like the more I teach or the more I coach, the more I realize the value that we have. That's me patting myself on the back, but like there's so much to learning, and like I used to be embarrassed by telling people I had a coach, which is bizarre, like a business coach, which really changed things for us. But I had coaches my whole life. Like I've always had, like I played sports, a professional athlete from the earliest age of, I don't think I played t-ball. I started a little bit later, but I always had a coach, and like that's what drives you. That's what helps you stay on track. That's what helps you stay focused. And the most successful times I've been in an athletic career was always with a coach and team. And then for years I didn't do any coaching, like business coaching. And then I realized I should have a coach. And then I've had a handful of different coaches over the last few years, and we've invested thousands. But that's always offered a return, a fantastic return. And for our clients, like we bring in on clients, and some of them, like we work with women 40 plus, a lot of them haven't seen any results, much to speak of in some of them their entire life, or 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And then they jump into our program, and I just had someone's watching right now. We had a call. We had a coaching session yesterday, and they said they haven't seen the results that they've had in a short time with us, maybe ever. And that just goes back to the coaching and the support, and I don't know where I was going with that. But I'm gonna carry on, and I'm just excited. I'm inspired. We have a sprint here before Christmas. We have 4 weeks of a lot, and I'm all for it. We got a chance to go away, which I want to talk about today, and kind of reset. And now it's a sprint. It's a sprint till Christmas, and then usually things for us slow down a little bit in January, and then it's another sprint. So it's always kind of ups and downs of how business works. But we're pushing our clients to new levels, and I think that workshop was really something that resonated with them, and certainly did with me. Happy to hear you guys. We got some comments there. Happy to hear you guys enjoyed it. We got Nicole jumped in here, and Tracy jumped in here. So I want to talk about I don't want to say goals, because when I say goals, people just like shut off. But it's like a psychological thing, because people have set goals in the past and then haven't seen the results they're hoping for. So they're like, what's the point of setting goals? They don't work. But I want to share my experience with you, and hoping that it'll inspire you to reach new heights in your life, whether that's career driven, whether that's family driven, whether that's mentally, physically driven. So for me, I'll just mention this briefly because I've talked about it a number of times before. And I was always been an athlete, always been active. And I was in a car accident that was debilitating. Like, for 2 years, I was in chronic pain. I shouldn't say like it's not 2 complete years, but like probably closer, maybe 3 or 4 months away from that 2-year mark when I started to heal and get better. I mean, it was a long process, but I could hardly move, and I was in chronic pain, and I was a different person. And I said to myself, once I'm over this, I always had belief that that was going to change in my life. I don't want the mic to be covering my face. I feel like but for me, I said, I'm going to do something that I've never done before, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to push myself. I thought it might be a triathlon or might be a marathon, but that doesn't, to be honest with you, it doesn't totally interest me. And I've always enjoyed obstacle courses and challenging myself at different levels. So there's these things called Spartan runs, which are obstacle courses, and you have different durations. You have 5K, you have a 10K, and then you have a 21K. And I said to myself that, just give me 1 second. I said to myself that I was going to do a trifecta. Here you go. That I was going to do that, which is 3 of them: the 5K, the 10K. You should be good. Should be open. And then the 21K in one season, which is called the trifecta. So, and I've never actually ran a 21K, a race, like a 21K race. So, and then there's 30 obstacles. So you're climbing ropes and you're jumping over cargo nets. And oh my gosh, I hadn't done this one before, but there's a rope. You're swinging, you're holding the rope like this, and I'm upside down, and you're pulling yourself on the rope. And it was extremely challenging. And like, you get halfway through, and the rope is burning my ankle, and I'm trying to get through the pain because I don't want to fall. And I get like halfway through, and the rope burning my ankle because my feet are crossed. I don't know if you can picture this. So I'm on my back, facing the sky. My face is up towards the sky. So I'm hanging upside down, and I'm holding the rope. I'm pulling myself on the rope. So I am horizontal to the ground, and my feet are crossed over the rope. So I'm pulling, and like the faster you pull, the more the rope is burning my ankles. And I'm like doing everything I can to hang on, and then I let my feet go because the burning just becomes too intense. You're not hanging far off the ground. Fortunately, I was hanging far enough off the ground. I dropped my feet, and I'm still hanging onto this rope, and I'm like, I'm not letting go. So I'm hanging onto this rope, and my feet are dangling a few feet off the ground, and I'm like, not doing it, not giving up. So then I'm just holding this rope with my hand, and my feet are dangling, and then I swing my feet back over. I give my ankle a rest. And I swing my feet back over, and then I'm pulling myself back up. There's a lady next to me, and she sounds like she's about to give up. She's next to me, and she heavy panting, and like sounds like she's not gonna make it. And I just look over, and I'm like, don't do it, don't quit, keep pulling. I knew, like at that time, I knew I wasn't going to quit, and I knew I was going to succeed. So I was able to offer a bit of extra for someone else. I think I'm proud of that. But that's the Spartan community seems to be very supportive. I'll tell you another story about that I told our clients last night. In a little bit here at the end. And okay. So from there, I said to myself, I'm going to do something. that I've never done before to in celebration, and it was crazy. I'm in the desert, and it was the biggest event I've ever been to. This was in just outside of Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was huge. So I've been to Red Deer events. Even we went to Blue Mountain in Ontario, just outside of Toronto, and that was a bigger event. But this one was epic. There was thousands and thousands of people, and sorry, I lost my train of thought. There were thousands of people. I didn't realize how big it was going to be, and I didn't realize it was in a huge stadium. I've never been to a NASCAR stadium. It was a huge NASCAR stadium. It was bigger than some of the professional baseball or football stadiums I've been in. So it was pretty cool to be a part of that. Like signing up as an athlete, I kind of missed that. I kind of missed the traveling as an athlete. People look at you a little bit different. In some cases they don't think much of you at all. When we were in college, and probably not the most productive environment, like as a collegiate athlete. And then some of these at higher levels, people look at you a little bit different. Like at professional level, I've signed autographs and done some ridiculous things. Like they asked us to. It sounds so ridiculous to me. Like they like treat you like an animal, like literally. Like you're tagged, you have a number. Sometimes they don't use your name. They had us on a boat, like waving at people. It was so it was so ridiculous. But like under contract, you do what they tell you to do, like, and you want to play. Anyways, but that's the thing. Like people think like that is all luxurious. Like you played professional sports and it was really enjoyable, and it wasn't in large part. But for another time, this one in particular, I really missed the traveling as an athlete for a competition, the training, the mental prep, the physical prep. So this was right up my alley. This was something I really enjoyed training for. And I want you guys to consider, like when it comes to setting some type of goal for yourself or something to achieve, something that can be challenging, that might be of interest to you. And there's always some form of doubt. There's always some form of fear. And I dealt with all those emotions many times early in my athletic career, but this one was no different. And I felt really strong. Like I had a really strong, they call it camps, like a fight camp. I had a really strong camp leading up. I ran probably longer and harder than I have in years before my injury. And it was really a celebration. It really was. And if you guys ever go to a run or a race, whether you're walking, jogging, running, it could be something entirely different. It could be a mountain you've always wanted to hike, or if you always wanted to do paddle boarding or canoeing, whatever it is. Like I feel like that's the essence of life, is experiencing new things and trying different things. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we see people that aren't willing to step outside their comfort zone and try something new or try something different. But for it to run, like it's so crazy. Like 30 obstacles. Some of the walls were like, one of the walls was 7 feet high. So you're stretching as high as you can, jumping and then pulling your entire body weight up. And what's incredible is there's so many different types of people there. There's people there that were quite overweight. There's some people there that was, I would say, quite a bit older and younger and thinner, like everything you could think of. Ages, races, like doesn't matter. Like nothing matters. It's just that you would go and compete mostly with yourself. I know they have a higher competition level for pro obstacle course runners. I don't know exactly what they call themselves, but I'm kind of newer getting into it. I've done a couple in the past, and I've been looking for something to inspire me and push myself through harder, more challenging workouts. And that's the thing, like, that one of the most challenging things with our clients is, what are they looking forward to? Like, it sounds like a crazy statement, but as a fitness, I prefer a performance coach. But as a, did it lock? Okay. Hang with me here. Yeah, that's fine. So when I say I don't necessarily like to work out, I mean that. I don't love working out. It sounds crazy. I love the results of working out. Like it, I'm starting to say this all the time, is I don't think I'd be a very happy person if I didn't work out. I don't know how you live without workouts. Like there's increased confidence. You feel better about yourself. You see better about what you see in the mirror. You fit in your clothes better. You have a more of a sense of accomplishment. You're healthier from the inside out. You have a sense of accomplishment. I may have said that already, but there's so much value to improving your mood and your mindset and mental clarity. I think maybe I'll just speak for myself instead of the others. I just feel like a better person. I'm more patient. I'm happier. I'm a better father, better husband, better employer. And I just think like those really challenging days when I'm extra stressed out and miserable, and then I go for a workout and everything changes, I feel like the whole world would be different if the majority of people worked out. And a very small percentage of people do work out, unfortunately. At any rate, let me carry on but for me, like as a traveling athlete, I wasn't very happy. I always felt like I wanted to get to the next level, and I sacrificed a lot to move up and make it to the professional level. And I feel like have gotten a second chance at life and a second chance as an athlete. Did you bring the bottles in? Sorry, guys. Probably not the best time to do a live with so much going on. But I'm in a different place in life. And before it was like sacrifice anything to get to the next level. And it was always like not fast enough, not hard enough. Didn't work. Like I was really hard on myself. And now I can appreciate the place I'm in right now. I can appreciate the healing I've been able to put myself through mentally and physically. I can appreciate my family being there to cheer me on and hopefully inspiring our community to do something and to reach new heights. And it's a very different place to be in. It's a more of a, I don't want to say complacent, but it's a nice place to be in physically, mentally, emotionally. And when I was take a step back to when I was talking about workouts, is when I'm like, I don't really want to work out, it's that next race that I want to train for, or it's that next, I want to improve my mood, or I want to be a more patient parent, whatever it is. There needs to be a driving force for you to get through your workouts. And in most cases, we see very surface level, and we're doing not more rebranding, but remessaging of there's so much surface level stuff out there, like whether it's, I'm not putting anyone down or any industry or business, but the easiest ones that come to mind are Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig's, or those ones that in most cases it's like, we want to help you lose weight, or this is how much weight we lost. And we do share that and we celebrate that because it's tangible and it's a number and it represents something. But a lot of that is surface level types of programs. And for us, it's like there's more to it. There's systems that we put in place. There's root issues or root causes that we need to address. And one of them in particular is, and I earlier talked about habit stacking, but when I talked about in particular, like what is it that we're trying to accomplish and why? And it's not just, I want to lose weight. I'm going to get this workout in because I want to lose weight. That's really not going to drive you through a dark, cold winter, right? There needs to be something more substance, more substantial in your life to get you to accomplish those goals that you set for yourself. So I'm hoping that will help you guys understand where I'm coming from and how you can find more in your life. I'm just going to go read a couple comments here. Sharon says, I watched the replay. Weren't you there last night? You should be proud of the support you give to others. Thanks, Sharon. I appreciate that. Morning, Rhonda. And something else I wanted to mention was the support in that community. So we were staying at a hotelish resort kind of place, and I was wearing my Spartan shirt. I'm green. Those of you that aren't watching, you might be listening. I have green hair right now. And I've dyed my hair for each one, so people ask me why it's that color. So they brand the coloring for the run that you're doing. So a 5K is red. You get a red medal, and you get a red shirt. And then some people wear red, so I wear all red when I'm doing the 10K. And then the blue 5K is blue, and then the green is 21K. So I wore all green, and I got my hair green, so that's why it's green. And that for me is like, it's just something fun and different. I like to do things a little bit differently, so that's why. But whatever that you're doing, that you set your sights on, it should be fun and it should be enjoyable. And that's probably why I didn't do something like a marathon or a half marathon. That doesn't really interest me at this point. I might do that in training for a Spartan, or I might change my mind. And like, I thought a triathlon might be cool because it's a few different things. Running for me is just running. Like, I don't love running, but I think you guys should find something that inspires you, so you can get excited about whatever it is that you set your sights on, and finding that so it can push you through difficult times. I wanted to share this with you because it meant so much to me. This one in particular was, we were probably at like 19 or 20K right near the end, and we had these 60-pound bags, and we were walking up. Picture a full-on stadium, the biggest stadium you could probably picture or imagine. And we were walking up these stairs, and you're 20K in, exhausted, like mentally, physically, emotionally. Like, for me, it was like holding my mindset. It was my mindset and removing the doubt and fear on a regular basis of every step. So we didn't expect it to be that hot. It was probably 25 degrees, and it was a hot 25. Sometimes here in Alberta we get like 20 degrees, but there's like a cool mountain breeze. It wasn't that. It was like a hot 25 degrees. This is Celsius, by the way. I know we have lots of our listeners listening in the U.S. Morning, Jennifer. So we didn't expect it to be that hot. So I ended up putting a hat on. I don't do the whole sunscreen nonsense. You can check if you want a past show about that. Comment below and we'll send it your way. But I hydrated beforehand, so I drank a gallon of water the day before, and that morning there was tons of people pulled over on the side, laid up, cramping, dehydrated, dropping out. I made sure I got my food in. I probably took like a pound of greens. The day before, I took a ton of greens. I was popping greens, handfuls of greens all day long. And then during the run, before I took greens in the morning, right when I woke up, I took greens. Right before I started running, I took greens. There was a pit stop where Dorothy met me. I took greens. And then the rest of that day for recovery, these were all during and up to. This was all spirulina. And then after, I took I can't even tell you how many greens I took in chlorella in recovery. And so I think that was important. And then just getting proper nutrition in right after is definitely important, to make sure that you guys are always nutritionizing your body properly and keeping that on top of mind for recovery. But okay, so we have these 60-pound bags, and we're walking up the stairs, and everyone is, I couldn't tell you if anyone made it to the top without stopping, but many people are like on the side, and you walk as far as you can, and you drop the bag, and you sit down, and you like catch your breath, and like consider this is one of the hardest obstacles, and you're already 20K in, and everything is like destroyed. I was talking about my mind, like just hold your mind. When I said to myself when I started running, if I could just hold my mind and push the fear to the side and all the doubt of, can I finish this? Is my body going to hold up? Am I going to cramp up? Like all of that stuff, push aside and hold tightly to your beliefs in, I'm strong, I'm trained, I'm nutritionized, supplemented. Everything I've done leading up to has brought me to this point, and I'm 100% ready to complete this race. That was the thoughts that I held on to during the most challenging times. So we're like we are in the middle of a desert. and at points there's no one around. It's just you and arrows pointing which way to go, and hot sun like beating down on your face. And some of the places were like we're running in the desert, so there's like sand and big rocks, and there's like big dips, and you just endless running. And then you're running and you see this big obstacle and you're like, oh. And for me, I'm excited. I'm like, I really like obstacles. I think a lot of times I saw people leading up to the obstacle and they like, oh. And they look at this big giant obstacle and they're immediate like doubt and fear into their mind. So I think in keeping your mindset and confidence was important for me. So I'll see if I can finish the story. So I'm at the top. I get to the top and I'm exhausted. I've stopped. I'm not too proud to say I didn't make it all the way up without stopping. Anyways, I stopped a couple of times, get to the top, and then we're on the way down. And I know there's only a couple obstacles left, so I know we're almost done. So I put the weight, I dropped the sandbag next to me. I sit on the top stairs, and maybe in a little bit of appreciation, a little bit of that I made it that far, a little bit of exhaustion. And this guy, I've seen him before. He's huge. He stood out like a sore thumb. He looked like he was like a professional football player, like a professional linebacker. This huge, giant man, like chiseled, big black guy, had his shirt off, muscles popping out all over. Probably 6'3". And he says, I don't know if I passed him. I seen him on the course before, but and you pass people pass you. I'm a better obstacle course. Like I'm better at obstacles than running, so often I'll pass someone on the obstacle course, and then they'll pass me running. So you kind of see people throughout the course. Anyways, this guy looks down at me, and he's like, big deep voice. He's like, "Get up, Mohawk." And I'm like, and I look up, and it's like this big giant shadow, right, like a mountain of a man. And I'm looking up. I look up at him. He's like, "Get up, Mohawk." So I put my head down and I'm like, all right. And then he goes down a flight of stairs, and then he said one more time something like, let's go, Mohawk. He's like, this is the last stretch. So anyways, I pick up the bag, throw it over my shoulder, and I'm off down the stairs. And I wanted to share that. I shared this with our audience because that is something that I'll probably always remember. And it meant so much because it was a perfect stranger. He didn't have to do that. A few other people walked by me and didn't say a word. Not that I expected anything out of them. It's just that, like, often we come across people in our life. Like, it was the same thing with that girl, and I felt like she was maybe going to give up. And I just offered a couple encouraging words, probably because it's part of my profession. It was easy for me, but it's not easy for the regular people or the average person if you're not usually trying to encourage people or help them get past their goals. But it just meant a lot. Like, he's a stranger, don't know him. Like, the Spartan seems to be a close-knit community, but there's thousands of people there. I may never see him again in my life, and I'll probably always remember that small few words of encouragement to help me. Like, it's not like I wasn't going to finish or I wasn't going to get up, but it just meant a lot that someone was willing to go out of their way to offer a few words of encouragement that helped me get through a challenging part of the course or my life. So for you guys, when you see a comment or you see someone in your workspace or you see someone at the mall and they need a helping hand, like, we probably have no idea how much a few words could change someone's life. So for me to end this, I'm going to wrap things up. I told you guys it was going to be a bit shorter. I have a whole day of calls today, wrapping up the week. But I want you to consider encouraging someone, anyone, and offering, whether it's a comment of good job, well done, whether it's a helping hand in the workplace, someone that you would probably walk by and say nothing to. A slight side note. We have a lady here. She's from the Ukraine. She went to visit, and she doesn't speak a whole lot of English. And I tried to talk to her a bit about her trip, and I said, "Is it safe there?" She went to visit. She said in broken English, "My city is safe, but most of the area is being bombed." And I couldn't imagine. Like, I can't even picture what it would look like. And I said, "Well, where's your husband?" She said, "He's in the war." And she is the happiest person I've ever met. She is always walking around, and she has limited English, but she's always walking around saying hello, hi, how are you doing? I don't know her that well, but she came and gave me a hug when she got back from her trip. And like I thought to myself, like, as we grow and have our own business and have our own location, this is shared space. Those of you that don't know, it's a shared warehouse space. So there's other businesses here. I would hire her just to walk around and be happy, because I want happier people in my life that lift me up and put me in a better mood. And I would imagine she puts everyone in a better mood just by being happy and smiley and hugging almost near strangers, right? So I would like to be more like her. I'd like to be more like her and happier and more encouraging. I often think about this as our toddler, and like people love him around, and probably because they don't see him tantrum. But he is excited, and he runs and he skips and he loves life and he talks to people, and he's so happy. My gosh, I want to be more like him. And I feel like if we were more like those two, this world would most definitely be a better place. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for joining me live. If you guys have any questions, leave them below. If we can help out with anything, we're only a message away. We do have our Black Friday offer on right now. So we're offering our regular 6-month price. Our regular... I just completely draw a blank. Instead of we're offering 6 months for the price of 3 months. That's what we're doing right now. That's not very clear. I didn't plan on pitching you guys anything today. We have a whole write-up. If you're interested in working with us, we definitely have a special right now for Black Friday. We can talk about more in the DMs. If you're interested, find me there. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye, everyone.